Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to continue with the shell patterns. Today's pattern is called the fan stitch and it's an elegant large shells which line up with each other and are framed by this elongated double crochet in between each one. So let's get started. To start this pattern, we're going to start with our slip knot. And make sure you're leaving yourself a tail for weaving in. And you're going to start by making a chain. And your chain, the number of chains that you're going to do needs to be a multiple of 14. So for this sample, I'm going to go ahead and do 56 for my multiple of 14, which will allow me to do 4 shells in each row for this example. So I will do my 56 chains and meet you at the end of the chain. Remember, when counting, do not count the loop that is on your hook. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'll meet you at the end of my 56. Here I am. I've got 56 chain stitches, not counting the loop on the hook, and then we're going to add 2 more. So you've got a multiple of 14 plus 2 more, and we're going to be working, when you're looking at your stitches for this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work in these top loops here. So when you're holding it, looking at it, you see your V, and we're going to just work in those top loops there. So to get started, we're going to skip this first chain and start in the second chain from the hook, and we're just going to do 1 single crochet into that stitch. Then you're going to skip the next 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go into the 7th one. And we're going to be doing what is called an elongated double crochet. So you're going to yarn over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip 6, go into that 7th one, grab your yarn, you're going to pull up a long loop like that, and then do your double crochet. And we're going to do a total of 13 elongated double crochets into this one stitch. So I've got 1 there. Make sure you're pulling your loop up a little bit so it's nice and tall. And making sure you're doing all of these in that same stitch there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, once you've got your 13 elongated double crochets into that stitch there, you're going to skip the next 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet into that next stitch. And then you're going to repeat this all the way across your chain. So I just did one single crochet there. You're going to skip 6, and then you're going to do another shell of 13 elongated double crochets, all into that one stitch. And then you'll just repeat doing this all the way across. So you'll do 13 into this stitch, you'll skip 6, you'll do one single crochet, skip 6, do 13 elongated double crochets, and continue following that pattern until you've reached the end of your row. The end of my first row, and I just did my shell here with my 13 elongated double crochets, and now I'm just going to single crochet into that final stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip 6, and go into that last one, and just do a regular single crochet into that one. And we're going to chain 3 and turn your work. Make sure when you turn, you've got your shells facing up and they're not twisted or tangled up. And we're going to start by doing an elongated double crochet right into this first stitch. So make sure that loop's nice and tall, and do your double crochet, and then it should match up with the one you did with your chain 3 here. And then we're going to chain 5, then we're going to come over here and do a single crochet in the 7th stitch. So right in the middle of your shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're just going to single crochet right into that stitch, then chain 5, and then in this single crochet space that we did here in between our shells, we're going to do 2 elongated double crochet. And that's going to be your pattern for the remainder of this row. So once you've done your 2 elongated double crochets, you'll chain 5, and then you will do a single crochet into that 7th stitch, so stitch number 7 of your shell, chain 5, and then come over here to that single crochet in between your shells and do your 2 elongated double crochets. Then you will chain 5 and continue following that until you've reached the end of your row. So single crochet in that center stitch, which is stitch number 7. Then you will do 2 elongated double crochets in this single crochet space here in between. And you'll do that until you've reached the end of your row. Here we come to the end of the row. So I did my single crochet here, chained 5, and then we're going to do 2 elongated double crochets right into that stitch right there. Making sure you're bringing that loop up to where it's a little tall. And then we will chain 1, turn your work, and you will be ready for row 3. So rows 2 and 3 are going to be the ones that you're going to repeat until you've reached the number of rows you want. So row 2 was the one we just did, which made these nice long chains in here. And so row 3, we're going to do a single crochet in that space between those 2 double crochets. So just a single crochet into that space, and then we're going to come straight over here to this single crochet that we did in the center here, and we're going to do 13 elongated double crochets into that one stitch there. You just want to make sure you're doing all 13 into that same stitch. And these make some pretty big shells. So once you've got your 13 into that stitch there, you're going to move over here where you've got your 2 double crochets, and you're just going to do a single crochet right in the center. And that's going to start bringing it together. And so then you'll just repeat that process. You're not going to do any chains in between. So you'll go straight into that single crochet that you did right here. Do your 13 elongated double crochets, and then come over here and do 1 single crochet in between those 2 posts, right into that space right there. And you'll do that until you reach the end of your row. Here I've come to the end of my row. I've done my last shell here, and I've got this space in between these 2 posts, and I'm just going to do 1 single crochet, and that completes the row. And so from here you'll just continue to do rows 2 and 3. And so to start your next row, you'll chain 3, turn your work, do your elongated double crochet right into that first stitch, and then you'll start doing your chain 5, and then just single crochet into that 7th stitch of your shell, chain 5, and you'll do your 2 elongated double crochets in that stitch there in the middle. And then you'll chain 5 and continue doing that. So you'll single crochet into this one, chain 5, do your 2 elongated double crochets, chain 5, and continue that until you've reached the end of the row. And then when you reach the end of the row, you will do your 2 elongated double crochets into that final stitch. You'll chain 1 and then start row 2 again. And here I have a few rows done. And you can see how your shells line up, and then they're kind of framed by that elongated double crochet that we did in between each shell. And so that is the fan stitch. Hope you enjoyed my video, and have a great day.